Welcome to View from Under the Bus. Today we have a special guest, and he's my friend John, who I've known for a number of years, and he and his wife are dear, dear friends. Yet, in having that friendship with John, they also are dealing with chronic pain. And I felt it would be really wonderful to have another person talk about their experience and their journey together with chronic pain. John, I want to thank you for coming and share your life experience and just the way that you are a supportive role to your wife as she walks this journey. If you'd like to give us just a little bit of history with your wife and how it's affected her, and then maybe talk a little bit about what the dynamic is with you personally and your family.
Mhm. So, as you said, I am John. My wife is Connie. Um, her injury dates clear back to 1984. She was like 18 years old, 18 or 19, fresh out of high school, working in a nursing home. And as she was helping a patient get back into bed, and there was a loud pop from her back, and the nurse that was in the same room working with another patient was like, "What the heck was that?" And so she's been dealing with chronic pain since then. And one of the weird parts is that all of these doctors, especially back in that time frame, they did their x-rays and whatnot, and said there's nothing wrong, that you don't have pain and this and that. And yet she couldn't hardly move. And after about a year and a half of fighting with them, she told them, either you do exploratory surgery and find out what is going on, or I'm finding another doctor that is willing to actually take me seriously. And the doctor finally did decide to do exploratory surgery. And when he got in there, he was like, "Oh crap, there is so much damage in here that does not show up on any of our scans." And so they did what they could to try to, heal it or repair it or whatever. And she actually got good-ish results for a time, and then it started getting really bad again. She ended up having 3 fusion back surgeries. One of the surgeries was caused by a physical therapist that didn't believe that the pain she was telling him was real, and it caused the disc directly above the fusion to collapse also. So, and so then since that time, since the 3 surgeries, she's had several more. She doesn't want to take the pain medicines. She has to, but she doesn't want to. So she has tried several different things and several surgeries to try to alleviate the pain, because she and I will have the same conversation 4, 5, 6 times, because the pain meds are messing with her head and she won't remember it. She'll be like, "No, we didn't." Yeah, I'm sorry, but we did. And so there are times that I'll just get aggravated and I'll be like, "We're not having this conversation again. It's taken care of. Don't worry about it." And so that's one of those odd dynamics. Another one is that I am a pastor, and I firmly believe in the healing power of prayer and the healing power of the Lord Jesus Christ. And when I pray for my wife and I don't see things get better, or they go the opposite direction and get worse, which is where we're at right at the moment, it's very challenging, for me, because I've prayed for people and seen dramatic results. God do things that doctors are like, have no clue how that happened. And then I pray for my wife, and it either stays the same or it gets worse. Because when you live with someone that deals with chronic pain, you start to recognize little subtleties when they're hurting. And I can tell by the way she's sitting if her back or the incision site is hurting, just by the way she's positioned herself. I can tell when she gets up to move, how she stands up and how she walks. I can tell if she's having an extremely bad day with pain. And as I was saying, all of these things she tries to get away from the opioid medications. Well, she's not taking Percocet. They put her on a thing called Nucynta, which is a different long-acting pain medicine. It's similar to what is it, OxyContin, but it's a different medicine. It's not as strong of an opioid. It's a different style. So that helps, and it does help with the pain, but it's still there at various times. And it's, it's aggravating because I know what she wants to do, and she can't. She wants to clean the house, she wants to vacuum, she wants to do this, and she can't do it because of the amount of pain that it inflicts. And so all I can do is just tell her, hey, don't worry about it. I'll get it. It might take me a week and a half or 2 weeks.
Well, in the one thing that you were talking about, I like to write little notes while.
Absolutely.
But you're recognizing her physical inability to perform what she feels is responsible to the home, and also the memory loss because of the medication that's there.
Yeah.
And then it's discouragement on her side because she feels like she's bothering you or repeating herself. And then you try to respond, trying to be supportive. No, that's okay. But it's almost cyclical.
It is. It is very cyclical. Yeah.
And so in all of that, because now you've been together how many years?
We've been together for 21 years. We've been married for 19, almost 20.
Okay.
February of 22 will be 20 years.
Good for you. Good for you. Well, but in that time, in a lot of ways, I would see pain has been a dominant partner, so to speak, in the relationship. Am I correct in that?
Yes, for a good bit of it. Now, when we first got together, the pain was not to the point that she could not work. That happened a little bit later. She was working in a group home with developmentally disabled adults, and one of them went into a seizure and was about to face plant on the floor. And Connie's problem is in the lower back, and so she caught the lady and took her down slowly so that she didn't hurt herself. But in the process, that made Connie's a whole lot worse. And she's not been able to work outside of the home since 2013, I believe. Because of the pain, she just can't do it. She does not have the ability to stand that long or sit that long. She'll sit and then she'll get up and wander around, then she'll sit back down, and it's a constant cycle. And right now there's not a whole lot, there's nothing actually that can be done other than prayer and, doing the best we can.
Right. And that has got to be one thing that I think is the focus of what you're going to talk about is how do you be a support when you feel helpless? How do you feel like you can make improvements, not only for her, but for your lives when you feel like I don't have the ability to make a change? What are some things that you found to be effective through those crisis times?
Okay, so as a pastor, I probably shouldn't admit this, but I'm going to anyway.
I can always edit it out, don't worry.
You can leave it in there. It's important that people understand pastors are just as real human beings as everybody else, and we struggle with the same stuff. One of the things that I do to cope is I yell at God and tell him I quit. He never lets me quit. Don't get me wrong. But I'll tell him I quit. I've had it. Other things is we'll just talk to each other. It's not ideal. What we're dealing with is it's much less than ideal, but because of our compassion and our love for each other, we're going to push through it. Period. No ifs, ands, or buts. Getting through those crisis times, some of the probably most effective ways is to actually talk to each other. For example, and I'm always careful when I do it because I don't want to inflict an emotional pain with what's bothering me. But talk to each other and let her know, and she lets me know where we're at, what we're thinking, what's going on, internally, not just the pain, but the emotional side of it, because it gets really tough, because there's, like, for her pain, there's nothing I can do. I can pray, which I do regularly, and the rest is out of my hands, which is, for most men especially, it's infuriating, because we're supposed to be able to fix stuff, and it's our job. It's been our job, since the beginning. So recognizing that there are some things that we just have to leave alone and let God take care of it, is the only thing that gets you through, you know. So I don't know if that actually answers your question or not.
It does. It does. And I think that you're down, I mean, what you're expressing is very raw
Mm-hmm.
of where you're at. One of the things that Sean has expressed is sometimes he has to, when they're out and about, there's something that'll trigger a pain or begin an event, and he and his wife have code words that say, "I got to get out of here," without
Oh,
bringing a lot of attention to themselves.
right.
Um, and because you don't always want it to be, oh, there she's down, there goes again. So,
Right.
but they're code words that are safety for her, but
Mm-hmm.
also indicate to you, we gotta go.
Yeah.
Have you developed a certain way of creating safeguards other than, just her giving you the look of you're going to die if we don't get out of here? But I know there's a lot of demands on you because of your profession.
Yeah. Well, and one of the things, fortunately, is Connie's not afraid to tell me I need to go. I got to get out. It's just I've got to get home and get into a comfortable position, or do the. Other times she doesn't like to, because she knows how important whatever situation is that we're in. Generally, when we're in one of those things, I will see the extra discomfort literally either on her face or in her hand. And no, not when she slaps me with it. She doesn't do that. But she'll stand with her hand in the small of her back, and kind of pushing in a little bit. And so that's one of the things that I've recognized. That means that she's having a lot of extra discomfort, and I need to figure out a way to help with that. And I've told people I've got to get her home. I'm sorry I have to leave early, but I've got to get her home. And yeah, as you said, within my profession, that there are a lot of challenges and a lot of demands, for pastors. Thank God, most of the people that I work with and work around, they recognize what's going on. They don't see it as quickly as I do, but every once in a while, I've had people tell me that I needed to get her home because they saw it and I was concentrating on something else and didn't. And so we've got really good friends like that at all three churches. So that is very helpful. Yeah, very helpful.
Join us next time as John continues how he supports his wife with chronic pain.